with you today. I just listened to your success principles. I love your success principles. Give me a big round of applause for your success principles. What we're going to talk about today, we're going to talk about vision and being bold. Does that sound familiar? Yeah. Vision and being bold. I don't have much time, so I'm going to make sure I keep the message very, very simple. Okay? And this is the message. Anything is possible when you believe in yourself. Anything is possible when you believe in yourself. In fact, I want you to take the word impossible and throw it out. There's no such thing as impossible. Because the word impossible is out the door, out the window. There is no such thing as impossible. You want me to prove it to you? You want me to prove it to you? Football prize there is. I'll tell you one more story. This kid was growing up and he wanted to be a baseball player. He wanted to be a baseball player in the Major League Baseball. And you know what? Everyone said you can't be a baseball player. You know why? He had one hand. He had one hand. Now baseball is kind of tough if you got one hand because you have to wear a glove in one hand and you throw the ball with the other hand. Well, he used to have to tuck the glove underneath his arm when he made plays. I'll give you a piece of information. In 1 year, he made 633 plays. 633 times he got a ground ball to him or a fly ball to him. You know how many errors he made? None. You know how many games he won as a pitcher? 18 in one season. His name is Jim Abbott. Let me ask you a question. Is anything possible? Yes. Did he believe in himself? Yes. If you believe in yourself, anything's possible. Yes. Let me read something else to you. See if you can guess who this is. As a 10th grader, he was cut from his high school varsity basketball team. That's right. As he later said, I think not making the varsity team drove me to really work at my game, and also told me that if you set goals and work hard to achieve them, the hard work can pay off. Michael Jordan. You ever hear of him? So the first of the four things I want to prove to you is sports. These are examples of people in sports who had to overcome a lot because anything is possible if you believe in yourself. Second story I want to tell is this. Has anyone ever been late to class? Raise your hand if you've been late to class. Okay. I'll tell you about someone who was late for class once. He was a math student, not in college, but actually above college, graduate school. He was a math student. He was late for class. And you know what was on the board? The homework was on the board. There were 2 math problems on the board. Do you ever go to class and have math problems on the board? Okay. He wrote them down to do homework, and he tried to do these math problems. And he stayed up all night because he was trying to get these math problems solved. And he spent all night doing it, and he got one of them solved. When you get 1 out of 2 solved of math problems, what grade do you get? 50%. That's not very good. So he was very upset with himself because he had success principles. He had leadership principles. He wanted to do well. So he slipped the answer underneath the professor's door and wrote him a note and said, I'm not going to be in class today. I stayed up all night trying to solve these problems. I could only solve one of them. I'm sorry. Please don't throw me out of school. At 4 o'clock that afternoon, he heard a knock on the door. It was the principal of the whole school. And you know what the principal said? You've done the impossible. You solved an unsolvable math problem. You solved a math problem that Einstein, you ever hear of Einstein? Einstein couldn't solve. You've done math history. You know why he was able to do that? Because he missed the first 10 minutes of class. And the first 10 minutes of class, the teacher said, these problems are impossible. You can play around with them, but they're not possible to solve. He missed that part. By missing that part, he solved one of the most difficult problems in the world, in the math world, because he missed the opening where they said this is not possible. You know why? Anything is possible